In this video, you'll learn how to run your Replit code directly in Visual Studio Code on your own computer. If you've started a project on Replit and now want the flexibility and power of a local editor like VSCode, this walkthrough will take you through the entire process step by step. First, make sure you have your project open in Replit. Go ahead and sign into your Replit account in your browser. Then select the project you want to move over. You'll need to actually open that project so you can access its settings and version control options. This is important because we're going to connect to the project using Git, which is how we'll bring the code down to your computer. Once your project is open in Replit, look for the version control or Git section in the Replit interface. Depending on the layout you're using, this might appear as a Git icon in the sidebar or in a menu related to tools or project settings. Open the version control panel. If your project is already initialized with Git, you should see information about the repository, such as branches or commits, and importantly, a repository URL. If you don't see any Git information yet, you'll need to initialize Git for this Replit project. Replit usually provides a button or option like Initialize Git or something similar. Click that to set up a Git repository for your project. Once Git is initialized, Replit will generate a remote repository URL. This URL is what lets tools like Visual Studio Code clone the project to your local machine. When the repository is ready, find the option to copy the repository URL. It will typically be shown as a web URL or sometimes an SSH URL, and there should be a copy button next to it. Click to copy that URL to your clipboard. Be sure not to share this URL publicly if the project is private, since it can give access to your code. Now switch over to your computer and open Visual Studio Code. If you don't already have it installed, install it from the official website first, then launch the program. Once VS Code is open, you're going to use its built-in terminal to clone the Replit repository. In VS Code, open the integrated terminal. You can do this from the menu by choosing the terminal option and then selecting New Terminal, or by using the keyboard shortcut depending on your operating system. A terminal window will appear, usually at the bottom of the VS Code window. In this terminal, you'll run a git command to clone your Replit project. Type the command replacing the placeholder with the URL you copied from Replit. It will look like this: git clone your Replit repo URL, paste your actual Replit repository URL in place of the placeholder, then press enter to run the command. Git will connect to Replit, download your project files, and create a local folder with the same name as your repository. This might take a few moments depending on the size of your project and your internet connection. When the cloning process finishes, you'll have a new folder on your computer that contains all of your Replit code. In the same terminal, change into that folder by running the change directory command, followed by the name of the folder that was just created. It will look like this: cd or repo folder. Again, replace the placeholder with the actual folder name that Git created. After you run this command, your terminal will now be working inside your project folder. At this point, your Replit project is fully cloned and opened in VS Code. You can explore your files in the Explorer panel, edit code, install extensions that match your language or framework, and most importantly, run your code using the appropriate commands for your project type. From here, you're ready to work locally in Visual Studio Code while still keeping your project connected to Replit through Git.